Hi guys. So a lot of people have been saying that about the intro being long. If you want to skip the intro, there's timestamps in the description. So you can just click on the description box and it will show you the timestamps and it will take you straight to the content. It's just like 10 minutes in, just go to the description box and then expand the description box and then you'll be able to go straight to the content if you want to ignore the intro. Okay, thanks for listening.
I don't know, but
No, you know what you need, Chantal? You need to get your butt out of the Middle East. You need to go back to Canada and you need to start living a life that isn't just a big scam. I mean, this is silly. You're going to be 40 years old. You're out here, I mean, following some 29-year-old thinking that he's going to love you and marry you and make a life with you and whatever. Girl, come on. He laughs at you. He makes fun of you. I mean, why do you think you're over there with him? Because you guys are living it up? I mean, yeah, you really look like you're living it up. You really look like you're happy. What you need to do is you need to go back to Canada. You need to start putting in hard work. And you need to, if a relationship is really what you want, if that's your end game in life, I know it is for some people. If that's really what you want, someone to love you, someone to call you baby, someone to give you affirmations, whatever. I mean, slow steps. I mean, whatever. Get on the dating apps, work on yourself. Get back to a point where you can walk for more than a minute without getting dizzy. I mean, that would, if I were that in that place, that would be my number one priority. Not who's going to call me baby when I put my head down at night. I mean, girl, come on. I mean, you're not going to be able to heal in this environment, let alone thrive. You're talking about energy. You're sitting here telling us how you're about to fall asleep.
so you're getting help and you want to dunk on Chantel? And that's why I think Shannon and FFG's chemistry is so beautiful, because they're so similar. FFG has to be the hero. That's why she has to always dunk on Chantel with something. Like when she did the thing with BBJ, I stand on this. She did her big one. She did her big one with that one, especially with the way Chantel was running her mouth talking about FFG's dogs and all. When I saw her pull that off, I said, leave it to Chantel to have me applaud FFG. I was pissed. I was like, oh, this was so good. She trolled the fuck out of you. Oh my God. So, just so we're clear, and you heard it here first. What happened with BBJ, rescuing BBJ? The BBJ rescue to FFG will be with the 89 LBs are to Amber. You will always hear about it for years to come. Always. That's never going to die. She did her big one. She had to make it public. And for those saying, oh, it's for the money, I think you guys forget, I've said this before, multiple things can be right at once. She did her big one and definitely helped BBJ, because at this point, I think almost anybody's better than Chantel. But yes, of course it was for the money. If it wasn't for the money, she wouldn't have made it public. Of course it was for the money. Are you kidding? The bitch held she shopped for BBJ's collar on stream. She shopped for a cat to get a Gucci collar for a cat. Of course it was for money. But I'm not going to take away the fact that, like, at least she got BBJ. But yes, it was for money. Yes, it was for content. Are you crazy? That is her 89 LBs, bitch. She is never letting that go. That will always be content in some way.
Isms. So, French fried girls should be worried because Chantal was threatening to sue again. Shadowed that she might have returned to Canada to handle some other business, and she would handle that while she was there. I would be terrified if I was French fried girl. So terrified. This is the woman who couldn't even make a vet appointment, and she's going to coordinate a multi-person lawsuit because she felt duped about her cat being given to somebody else. By her to somebody else. But she couldn't tell you who because the selfish bitch wouldn't even walk down the stairs to go say bye. She handed it to Pete's. Again, many reasons we can't follow through with our commitments. So, And Chantal doesn't have much tolerance for distress or discomfort. If something isn't exactly the way she wants to eat it, she's not going to eat it. If it's not the right temperature, she's not going to eat it. So you would think someone as large as her would be much more picky, but or would be much less picky. But actually, some of the more morbidly obese people I know are rather picky about their food. And like other folks who deal with addiction, can get pretty nasty if they don't get what they want. How many people think that they've probably fought about food a couple times already? I'm sure he was fine with her coming over, but she farted out a bunch of promises initially that she was I'm gonna go to the gym and lose weight and it'll be great and I'll be going to the beach and we'll be travel beezing. If you're too fat for a plane, you gotta do something. Because now you can't even get out of there in a hurry if you need to. There's no shame in buying 2 plane seats if you need them, but if you don't like that you need them or that you're cutting it close to needing them, whose job is it to change the shape of Chantal's body? Yours? Mine? A pill? Some Ozempic? No, it comes down to Chantal and what she chooses to do. At this point, she's had more resources and opportunities and access to treatment over the years that most people don't give a shit how she feels, or that she probably can't handle all of her ADLs maybe on her own, because she was always such a nasty, self-centered person that her discomfort brings people pleasure. We've heard of Schadenfreude. You know, it's the same sort of thing. I don't
So we saw some boats pass by while we were hanging out by the riverside and decided after we were done hanging out by the river to see if we could find a dock and take a boat ride ourselves. On our way,
it was his hard-earned money to try to buy her food that would support her health. And then either she ordered it without him or he came to reason of, look, I don't love you so much that $250 isn't worth risking your health to me. So if you really love me, Chantal, really, really love me, you'll go on there, eat yourself half to death, and give me the cash. So, I don't know. And she wants privacy. Okay. And where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? He's out with the boys. Thailand, from what I understand, has a very, very active sex scene. So, I'm sure he'll text you. But at any rate, this week we're going to... But she's sitting there, not a lot of people around, but it was the old eyes darting. Remember the outhouse? Or going for Burger King and then sitting in the parking lot, full face of makeup, looking all over the place to see who's looking and who's watching. She's out proud and doesn't care, but hawks like she's ashamed of what she's engaging in. So when she's sitting there with Sala eating, and there's people, you know, not a lot of people, because they go everywhere when it's closed. She's afraid of people, and they want to be able to film, and they're weird. They're weird. She likes getting attention, but standing out doesn't really, like, I think she probably feels like people are staring, because they are staring. It's a spectacle. She's 4 times the size of a normal woman. So I think people are going to stare. That shouldn't be unexpected. Is it rude? Is it cruel? I don't know. Bottom line, it shouldn't be unexpected. And to act shocked would be kind of stupid as well. You've read about it a little bit and saw it on TikTok. Please look better after yourself. Take better care of yourself. If not you, for your husband that you told us you loved so much. How much do you love him if you're willing to eat yourself to death because it's too difficult to try to get better beyond 36 hours? If you're not a 12-stepper, but the bondage of self. She's so obsessed with meeting her own wants and needs that she, to her inadvertently, steps on people and hurts people in that way. There's another side of Chantal that is a complete sociopath and pretty much doesn't care about feelings, doesn't know how to act. That's why we had the wedding cake and candles and she erupted like she was going to shit her pants, because she doesn't know what happiness feels like, so she doesn't demonstrate what it looks like. She doesn't know love. She doesn't know any of those feelings. And so with all this spinning in her head, her marriage on the line, her citizenship being up, she goes on a diet.
One, I'm pretty, okay? That has a lot, and I don't mean that to be conceited. I'm being very matter of fact. Being pretty gets you a lot of privilege. I'm just saying, you can get away with a lot if you're pretty. Number one, I'm pretty.
Okay, guys, so this is the trailer for Femme. It's been released in Europe, but it's out. It's a thriller, and I've seen it. It's a fantastic film. It is out in Spain, and it is out in the US on March the 22nd. So here is the trailer.
Bitches are big man, this high heels. Well, you can turn around if you're a fucking man. You're letting them win.
How you want to deal with that?
I think you're a nice looking lad. On your front. I'm a nice guy. If you disrespect me, fuck you up. I get that. Yeah, I'm the same. Oh, you know. You're a fucking big man. I best remember not to fuck with you then.
Hi guys, and welcome to Tailored Talk. This will be a quick one. So, because Foodie wants to trend, she spoke about the Iman Khalif situation a few days ago. With the whole Amber Lynn stuff, I've kind of forgotten that she's existed, but I did manage to click on that one recently, and I was like, I've got to make a video about this because hypocrisy you are. So before we go into, I'm going to do a quick overview of a man's situation. So to make things clearer, the word cisgendered means if you were born a girl or a boy and you live in the gender that you were born as. The word transgender means that a person is born one gender and then transitions into another gender. If you are a girl and then you transition into a boy, or vice versa. If you are a girl, if you are a boy and then you transition into a girl when you get older. Right, so when I say these words, hopefully you won't get confused. So, in case you're watching and you don't know about Iman Khalif, she is an Olympic boxer, and because of the Olympics have been happening, she's competing in the Olympics, and it's over now. But in competition, she beat another boxer a few weeks ago called Angela Carini. So after a couple of punches from Iman, she quit in 46 seconds. And afterwards, she was crying. She looked very annoyed at Iman in the ring. She showed really poor sportsmanship. And I'm actually going to do a separate video on this because it's Angela's extremely vile and nasty attitude that started this avalanche of hatred. Angela started this, but I'll do a separate video. So after the fight, Angela went crying to the press, saying that she'd never been hit so hard before, that Iman hit so hard that she just had to quit and her Olympic dreams were dashed. So Angela, coupled with Iman's appearance, Angela's reaction, coupled with Iman's appearance, this prompted famous author JK Rowling of Harry Potter fame to claim that Iman was a trans woman, that was a man that had changed sex to beat up women. And a lot of celebrities and political figures jumped on JK's bandwagon and accused Iman of being trans. And this caused the official Olympic Committee, the IOC, to hold a public conference to confirm that Iman and another boxer was a real woman, and they confirmed that there are no transgendered women competing in the Olympics. So that's why Iman Khalif and JK have been trending. on social media because of this situation. So now I've gone over the situation. This is what our favourite celibate wife, our beloved Cutie, and our rage-ridden foodie beauty had to say about the situation. She's actually quite calm, actually really calm, because she's enjoying food. But this is what she had to say.
Some controversy going on with the Olympics now. There's been a lot of different controversies going on so far, but this one involves the women boxing. And the female champion boxer, Iman Khalif. Now, a lot of people are making a big fuss. I think there's little potato pieces in here too. Because they think she's a man. Including Jake and Logan Paul. I can't stand them on a good day. But they're also basically accusing, they're very, very vocal about it, Iman Khalif of being a male. And they're saying how unjust it is for a man to be putting his hands on a female boxer. All someone has to do is very basic research to see her childhood pictures, to see her dad confirm, like, she's a woman biologically. Like, she does have a very masculine appearance. But there are a lot of female athletes who are masculine, you know? Do they not do testing, like, to find out, like... Actually, they checked the passport and the birth certificate and stuff. And she's female, like, she was, like, there's childhood pictures of her. I don't know. Anyway. She's just getting a lot of unnecessary hate.
Okay, guys, so those are Foodie's views. And guys, when I first saw the thumbnail of Foodie talking about Iman, I nearly fell off my chair because this is just so hilarious to me. Because with the whole JK hate campaign and JK Rowling smearing a man's name and accusing her of being a man, accusing her of being trans, stirring up like a hate mob against her because they thought that she was a man. Isn't that the same thing that Foodie tried to do to Dee Dee? Like, hasn't she been saying that Dee Dee was a man for years? Ever since Nader and Dee Dee got together, Foodie has constantly harassed Dee Dee about her looks, her appearance and her gender for years. Foodie has always said that Dee Dee looks like a man, that her hands were so big, that her shoulders were so broad that she couldn't possibly be a real woman, and has compared her to male Canadian celebrities all the time. Like, her beezers have called her out for transphobia lots of times. Zachary Michael has also called her out on her misogyny and her transphobia multiple times. So for Foodie to sit there and pretend, eating Middle Eastern food in Kuwait, on house arrest in Kuwait, and pretend that she gives a damn about Iman and her struggles of being misgendered is crazy to me, when she has constantly harassed Dee Dee over her gender for years. Like, even after she slept with Dee Dee and licked the Arby sandwich, as FFG says, even after she slept with Dee Dee to get back into Nader's good books, she's bullied her, harassed her, and called her a man. Even after she slept with her. Foodie has always policed Dee Dee's looks and made fun of her looks and her femininity for years. And Foodie never stops to think about, what if one of her beezers is transphobic and they showed up at Dee Dee's house and tried to hurt her because they thought that she was a trans woman? Dee Dee, if that had happened, Dee Dee could sue you for slander. Like J.K. Rowling, Foodie never thinks about the violent outcomes of the hatred that she spreads, whether that's racist, xenophobic, homophobic, or misogynistic, or transphobic. Foodie will just run her mouth without thinking about the consequences, exactly like JK. In fact, Foodie is just a fadder JK Rowling. Both bigoted, both misogynistic, both love to put women in a box, both have no problem harassing women that don't fit a box. And it's just obvious that Foodie is a narrow-minded bigot that tried to use Iman Khalif for clout, and I'm so glad that it didn't work. I'm glad that she didn't trend. I'm glad that she didn't get famous, get internet famous from Iman's name, because Foodie is such a nasty, disgusting, transphobic piece of work. She's so hateful to women that don't fit conventional feminine beauty standards. That also includes herself, because she doesn't fit beauty standards either, but she's especially hateful towards women that don't fit that cookie cutter, thin, slim, feminine beauty standard, and Dee Dee is proof of that. And if anybody deserves an apology, it's Dee Dee. And before Foodie, sets up a ring light to talk about Iman, she needs to apologise to the hell that she put Dee Dee through. Because Dee Dee got a lot of unnecessary hate for absolutely no reason other than being Nader's new girlfriend. And Dee Dee deserves an apology. She deserves an apology because you literally called her a man. The same thing that a man is going through. And you don't see, it's crazy to me that she doesn't see the similarities. JK put Dee through hell. Sorry, JK put Iman through hell. Foodie did exactly the same thing with Dee's gender and put her through hell. JK and Foodie Beauty are exactly the same person. Okay guys, that's the end of the video. If you're still here, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one.